Hey, what's happening, guys? My name is Ikahime, and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since you've heard from me. I've been posting a few Procreate speed paints here and there, and that's about it. I haven't really done any real full-on speed paints or anything. Really anything. Sorry about that. I don't really know what to do most of the time, so I don't do it. And there's so many other things that I'm working on, so many other projects that I'm working on, that YouTube just never really is at the front and center of any of the projects I'm doing. I mean, I'd like to make more YouTube videos for sure. I did finally get new memory for my computer, so I can actually edit videos, I believe, without having to, deal with weird pixely playback. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna test it out. It's a substantial upgrade. It's not as much memory as I wanted, but unfortunately, compatibility issues between the RAM. So it's still an upgrade. It's just not as much as I was hoping that I'd have, but that's okay. It certainly seems to be enough to actually run the program that I need to run for that. So hopefully that all works out and I'm able to actually update and make more videos and edit them, because before I was using just Windows Movie Maker and it doesn't work on my computer anymore. I don't know if the update in RAM actually makes it workable again or not. I haven't opened it, but the limitations of it were pretty extensive, so I felt like it was probably time to try and learn a new software. So that's what I'm doing, and so far so good. Hopefully everything works out anyways. But yeah, so that's been a huge contributing factor as to why I haven't actually made any videos, is basically because I just physically wasn't able to. And that's really the main reason, aside from, basically not knowing what to do most of the time. I feel like when I was growing up on YouTube, it was a lot of speed paints, and that was a lot of what I watched, and that was a lot of what everybody watched. And then it kind of morphed into these more entertaining videos that are about art challenges or just traditional art processes. I feel people are a little more interested in watching that, which I understand because I too am very interested in watching that. It's something about just the whole vibe of actually making a physical piece that's very appealing in a video, which is unfortunately something that I don't really do very often. I don't have an area that I can actually record traditional artwork, and I don't really have much of an area that I can actually do a lot of traditional artwork, which is a major bummer because I'd love to do stuff. I have a ton of traditional art supplies that I would love to use. I just physically am not really able to, and unfortunately, due to factors beyond my control, the offices and the office areas that I was working on so that I'd be able to work on this art have kind of been put on hold, and they're not really in a usable state. So I haven't really been able to do any of that stuff that I'd really like to do, which is a major bummer, because I had a lot of plans and a lot of ideas and stuff, but I just physically don't have the space to do it. My main office is actually my bedroom, which is really frustrating, and it certainly does it influences a lot of my habits, and the way that my brain works. I would prefer to have a separate space. I know realistically that's not going to happen for me for a while, just due to the way that the spaces are split up in my house, but it's just I just wish I had a place that I could go and do traditional art in, because 6 inches on my desk doesn't really work. But yeah, so where have I been? I didn't really realize how little I'd actually done art-wise until I had to look for artwork for my new business card. Every year I do a new business card, basically because by the end of the year, most all of my business cards are gone, so I always do a fresh business card for the next year. And I was going through and I was trying to find artwork that I could maybe use for my business card, and I couldn't actually find anything. And it was this weird realization, I haven't actually done much of anything in 4 months. and like the last major illustration that I actually finished was just kind of like a redraw of a Christmas thing. That was it. It was a Christmas artwork, and I don't want Christmas, I don't want holiday themes on my, on my business card, because it's just too seasonal. And that was the only thing that I had that was even remotely finished that I could use. And I was like, wow, this is weird. Like I used to produce art so fast all the time, and I just haven't really been able to, I don't know, for one reason or another, it seems like I just haven't really been there to finish artwork. A lot of that reason, I will give it credit, a lot of those reasons are because of commissions and merchandise production, which, I'm very grateful to all my commissioners. They really are the real MVPs. They've enabled me to do a lot of things, and mainly to pay my bills. So I'm really grateful for all that, but it does limit the amount of completed illustrations that I'm able to do because I'm so busy working on client work. I'm so grateful for all of that and for all of the people that support me through commissions and through buying my merch. It's greatly appreciated, and it just influences what I'm able to do. And I wish that I could do it all. I wish that I had all of that time to do stuff. And I don't know, as I'm getting older, my motivations and the way my brain works is a little bit different, and I find that as an adult, I'm far more scattered than I was as a kid, which seems really backwards. But as a kid, I guess because the way that my emotions were and the fact that I literally only had one thing to worry about, and that thing was like school and basically, like how do I have to go to it less? That was my only concern. So I felt like since art was like a major escape for me, that I was really focused on that a lot more. So I was creating art a lot more frequently. And while, granted, that art wasn't very good back then, I still was producing it, basically on like a daily basis. And it's not like that for me anymore. I have more things to worry about. I do more things now. And I'm kind of all over the place. And as I've grown as a person and as I've experienced new things and kind of realigned my goals and what I want, a lot of my interests have shifted a lot. And while I wasn't like the biggest anime fan, which is like really weird because that's the art that I do, I love manga. I just never really had the time or the focus to sit through anime a lot of the time. It's something about like when I'm watching TV, a lot of the times, like I like serious stuff. I like things that have like a plot line that's, it's very heavy and serious. Like I like that stuff. But a lot of times I just kind of want to watch something with comic relief. And a lot of anime seems to either be like it's a slice of life comedy or it's very, very serious. And I know that there's like an overlap in some of those areas, and I'm not the foremost expert on anime for sure. I'm probably the last person that you should ask about anime as far as being someone that's like actually in the anime community. But it's just, I kind of like a good balance of like serious plotline, drama, and comedy, which is something that's always been more easy to come across in cartoons. And I'm a huge cartoon fan. I love cartoons. I've loved cartoons my entire life. They've been my biggest influence, honestly. And the main reason that I even became an anime artist was because I thought the style was really beautiful, and I really do love comics and manga so much, and the whole aesthetic of it is amazing to me, and I really love it, and I love that I've worked so hard to become an anime artist, to really capture those styles and aesthetics that I looked up to so much as a kid. And I'm really proud of how far I've come with that, but I've come to realize that I am more influenced by cartoons at this point. And, every time I think about like what my main goal is, like who I want to be, what I want my career to become, it's not really, I don't really see myself as being like an anime artist. And I mean, granted, I will always draw anime because I love it so much, and I worked really hard at it, and it's a huge part of me, and I love the aesthetic of it, and I love comics. I like making comics, but when I think about, like what my ultimate goal is, like if you were to ask me like, hey, what is the one thing that you want to accomplish most? Who do you want to be? And that answer is not, being a mangaka or, being a showrunner for an anime. It's like I want to make cartoons, and I want to be a showrunner for like a cartoon, just a regular Western cartoon. And I know realistically that's not really something that I can actually like accomplish because geographically I'm a little bit challenged, and I don't have as much experience. I don't have any formal education, and I don't animate at all. So it's kind of like, it's like one of those goals that you have that realistically you could never, ever hope to accomplish it, but it's still there. And, it's just one of those things. So basically I've kind of been experimenting this whole time, and that's why I haven't really completed a lot of art, is because I've been just spreading my wings basically and experiencing more of letting myself actually indulge myself in cartoons and cartoon styles, to actually just to not feel like I need to keep myself so structured. And I did end up separating my accounts. So I do have like an anime account, and then I have my cartoon and miscellaneous account, because I did notice that there wasn't a whole lot of overlap between the people that liked my anime and the people that liked my cartoon. So I decided to just separate them, to give them their own platform, to give them their own voice. And, the people that liked both could follow both, and it was fine. And that's worked out pretty well. Obviously my cartoon one I'm less active on because of work. So I don't post as much all the time, but, it's okay because it's basically just an outlet for me to post these things and just kind of experiment and explore. And I've really been enjoying that. So basically my sketchbook is just full of a bunch of cartoon doodles. I'm actually working on something right now with that. And I mean, it's probably going to be a comic because, being realistic, I don't animate. And I can't afford animation software like at all. It's so expensive, but I'm just kind of winging it. I'm just having fun, and who knows where the future's going to take me, honestly. I'm just trying to vibe, honestly. That's what I'm doing. So that's where I've been. And I think everyone needs to take a break sometimes and just kind of reevaluate what they want to do, who they want to be. Realign their goals and work towards them, and experiment. Don't be afraid to branch out and experiment. And maybe people won't like the stuff that you're doing, maybe people will unfollow you or whatever, but the people that care about you as an artist, and the people that want to see you succeed as an artist and as a person, they're still going to hang around, and they're the ones that matter. So I was kind of dictated by fear for a long time, because this is how I make money. And, if I lose followers, if people stop caring about me because I've made a shift artistically, I don't make money anymore. And it was a huge fear for me. And I've this year, I really wanted to let go of that fear and just kind of move into a space where I'm happiest. And I'm just trying to experience new things, and who knows, I don't really know where I'm going. I've never known where I'm going, but I'm hoping that I'm able to at least go in a more solid direction and at least figure out who I want to be and what I want to do. So that's why a lot of the speed paints you've been seeing lately have kind of been a little bit varied in style. It's a lot because I've just been working on a bunch of stuff, and that's really all there is to it. But yeah, I that was all I really wanted to say. I don't have anything else to say, and I really want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, for being patient, for subscribing to my channel. Sorry that I don't post more. I always say that I will try, but you know how that is. I'm not very good at it. But you can follow me on Twitter. I did start a podcast. I have a podcast now. I will link that in the description box down below. It is not related to art or anime or any of that stuff. But you can feel free to check it out if that's something you're interested in. And honestly, just thanks for all of your support. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.